Well, hello, my friend. How are you today?
Good. I'm just working like crazy, and I look up and oh my gosh, I gotta be live.
I know it is kind of nuts, isn't it? Every time you turn around, it's like, oh my gosh, here we go. Well, I was on a group call yesterday, and one of the things they were talking about live is how when you're here and you're in the studio and you look up and you see that number that says zero,
Yeah.
how disheartening that can be, when
Oh,
it's a zero. So
sure.
that's why I always take just a few minutes and say, we're going to wait until that zero has a few more and go and just do our entry real quick.
Sounds good.
All
Well,
right.
in the intro, my hair back it was so long, like when we did that. It was crazy.
So now you get to go out and get your hair cut. Of course, I cut mine at home.
Yeah, you've always managed to keep it looking good, but yeah, I let it grow and grow and grow, and then I go get it whacked and super short. So
Yeah. It's funny. I was just kind of looking through some things the other day, and they said the new trend in baldness, and it's tattooing your hair. So it literally is. They do your hairline, they do the hairline, and it's just kind of like I haven't shaved. I need to shave probably tomorrow. It kind of shows like this kind of a hair just all over your head in tattoos, little tattoo marks.
really,
Yeah, it actually looked very lifelike. I was very surprised. It looked awesome.
huh?
This looked awesome. So, when I lose all my hair, even the hair that I have right around here,
Yeah.
that's my next thing. I'll just go get it tattooed on. Yeah, it's all right. Oh, welcome, guys. We've got several people here, and as normal, guys, if you can give us a little love and tell us who you are when you come into the comments, that would be awesome. We would love to know who you are because we are going to talk about the power of referrals today, and I am really excited about this topic.
Yeah.
I just feel like referrals it's just such good business. If you can get referrals, just almost 100%, you are going to get really good business. So I want to start by talking about, before we talk about how to get referrals, and Linda, thank you so much for liking us and giving us the love. We really appreciate that. But talk a little bit about.
Michael Fazee just joined too.
Oh, great. Fantastic. Hey, Michael, how you doing? Glad you're here as well. But I want to talk about the benefits of referrals. We always talk about the how to and the this and the that. We're going to get into that. But I want to start by really talking about there are huge benefits for having a really powerful referral market.
Yeah, the thing that a lot of business experts, quote marketing experts, say is that referrals are not enough to build your business. That they're too unpredictable. It's putting all your eggs in someone else's basket and hoping that they're going to grow your business for you. And I get it. There's some truth to that. In other words, the opposite of referral business is like targeted advertising, where you're spending advertising dollars to get in front of people that are qualified to be your customer, the kind of customer that you want, and that's more reliable and more predictable in terms of steady monthly income or revenue. And there's some truth to that too. But I will say this: when it comes to referrals as a source of new business, there is so much that you can do to take control of that process and put it in your camp and not necessarily in the hands of other people, by making it so doggone easy for people to refer you that they just do it because it's just part of the way that they show appreciation for the work that you do, and it's just part of the transaction, knowing that this is the next step, this is the thing that I do next. And so there's a lot that you can do to take action around referrals and take control of that. But man, it's a huge. You and I both know people that have built their entire businesses. Heck, we Most of our business is built purely on referrals.
Yeah.
But I mean, we know a lot of people that build
Absolutely
amazing service businesses on the backs of their customers.
I know of one carpet cleaner that does nothing else.
$3 million a year just in referrals.
Just in referrals. So it absolutely is a great way to build a business. And one of the things that I want to talk about too is we do think about customer referrals almost first when we think about referrals. We think about, okay, well, that's always a customer thing. And I always go back to, and I'm going to date myself a little bit. I don't know if everybody remembers. Does everybody remember the Ginzu knives? You remember the Ginzu knives on TV? If you guys remember the Ginzu knives, give me a big heart, a big love on there. That would be a lot of fun. Because here's the thing about the Ginzu knives. I don't know if any of you ever had a knife salesman that came out to your house to sell Ginzu knives, but I will tell you, because we had the knife salesman to come out and sell Ginzu knives. And we got through his whole pitch and everything. And we got to the end and we bought some and they were good. But the thing that cracked me up at the end, he wanted 12 friends and family members. 12. I mean, I was like, I don't know what the magic word of 12 was, but he wanted 12. And he wanted 12 before I ever got a really good chance to try those knives out. So I felt a little uncomfortable with giving them, so I gave him a couple of safe people we knew, gave him a couple of, it would be like me giving them you and then calling you immediately and say, hey, I just put you down for the Ginzu knives guys, right? So if he calls, if you don't want, just say no, it's okay. I just felt like I need to put somebody in and, you're my friend and I know you wouldn't kill me if I put your name on the Ginzu knife list, that kind of a deal. That's not what we're talking about.
No. No, that's an old method of selling, and it's really ineffective. It actually can sabotage all that you've done in sales, and suddenly become very untrustworthy because you're asking for something when the time's not right, and you can hurt yourself when you do that. Absolutely.
Yeah, one of the things I find that most people do not do, okay, this is really interesting, and I don't understand why they don't do this. But I don't understand why people, after they've had just given great service, don't go back and say, hey, if we've given you great service and you know of somebody that has the same issue or issues that we think we can serve, we would love the opportunity to also serve your friends and family in the same way that we've served you. And hey, Jerry, thanks so much for being on. Appreciate the like. And that's one of those things that we don't think about a lot of times, that to go back at the right moment after we've really solved a problem or made a current customer feel really good about our service, we don't take advantage of those moments.
Yeah, and they're very natural moments. And when someone expresses appreciation through a really positive review, or just, a really kind word to the technician that performed the service, when a customer tells a technician, man, you guys always do such a great job. I always love having you here every year to do the work, and really appreciate all you do. And I learned so much from you and watching you, do whatever. And y'all are pros. That's such a simple compliment, but that's, if you've trained your technician to listen for those cues, that can be the perfect time to go in and say, thanks so much. I appreciate that. We love helping people. If you know anyone else that we can help or serve or provide service to, please do that. And some sort of leave behind some sort of card or something. Give them a few business cards even, and say, I just want to leave these with you if you want to, give them out to anybody at church or whatever that you think might benefit, or if you hear of anybody that you think might benefit. That's the perfect time, right? It's low pressure. It's not like, can you give me the name of 6 people or 12 people or whatever?
Yeah, 12 people and addresses and phone numbers and yeah. And that was before mobile phones where I actually had that stuff in there.
Yeah,
So,
right.
you know,
You got to go get the Rolodex and start.
yeah, exactly,
Yeah, right.
exactly. So let's talk a little bit about if you're not getting referred. So I think that's something that many of us have natural referrals. We've benefited from that where people have, they've seen us around. I mean, we had a couple of guys at CCP this year say, "Man, you guys are everywhere." And so I guess being everywhere has its benefits, may have its may have its challenges as well. But yeah, I think the benefits that we've had is we've served a lot of clients and done a good job, and so other people talk. I mean, this industry that we serve, we're really fortunate. They talk to each other. They tell people about their experiences and those kind of things. So we've really been fortunate. But there have been times where our referrals have stopped. And I've always had to say, why aren't we getting referrals? What is going on? And almost 100% of the time that I've asked that question, we've gone back into our business and we have found that there's been maybe some issues here and there that we needed to really clean up to make sure that we are staying on top of our game, keeping everything fresh, making sure we're taking care of our customers and our clients. And so I would tell you if you used to get referrals or are used to getting referrals and they stop, I think something's wrong and you got to go identify those things.
It's a good barometer for
Yeah.
where change needs to happen. Just keeping an eye on that and tracking it becomes important. Then to know, if referrals are falling off, that's like your first temperature check to go find out what's going on.
Yeah, and so I think that's really important just to know. And so I want to talk about the best way to get customer referrals too. And the one thing, a referral is to me is kind of like a review. Okay, if you expect to get customer referrals from people who are giving you bad reviews, then you haven't figured out the referral process yet. Because the number one thing that I see is when people call me and say, I'm on the top of Google, my business, nobody's calling me. I always do look, but 100% of the time, it's because they have bad reviews. And it's the same thing. If you aren't giving stellar service, you can't expect good reviews and you'll never get a referral. So The power of great service is, that's the first part of the power of referral.
Well, it's like what you said. I mean, if the reviews are, if the referrals and reviews are falling off, go check to see what's going on with your service and start watching it carefully, doing ride-alongs and, getting all up in the grill of everybody in your business to find out where is the breakdown. We regularly audit phone calls, with our customers' permission, of course, because we set up a system to be able to help those customers track and find out how are my customer service representatives, the ones who answer the phones on the front line, how are they doing, right? And they've asked us to report to them, to sample audit those calls. Just every once in a while, grab one and listen to it and see how things are going. And we're often able to find issues. Usually they're training issues, simple to fix, just providing a new employee a little more in-depth understanding of exactly what we're trying to do here, and the way that we're answering a question or something like that. That's key. But just a quick little fix like that can suddenly, boost referrals and reviews just because you've removed a little speed bump in the customer journey.
Yeah, and something else you just said, you got to ask for them. Just like you ask for reviews, you've got to have a tactful way to ask for referrals. And I really like what you said before, the leave behinds. That's one of the greatest way to ask for referrals without asking. People say, how do I ask them? So I don't want them to tell me no. Well, here's the thing. If you've got a couple of cards and you just hand everybody that you serve every single day 2 cards, and you say, hey, if you know of anybody that is having issues with their units, their boilers, whatever it is, and leave 2 cards behind and say, if you know anybody, if you would pass these along, I'd really appreciate it.
And that's like the easiest, lowest hanging fruit way of getting it done. And it's the bare minimum of what you should be doing. We're going to talk about some more advanced ways to incentivize and things like that a little bit later in this. But yeah, that's absolutely, you should be doing that. The cost of a couple of business cards,
nothing.
Come on. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's nothing. And, if you're not doing something like that, then you got to ask yourself, why? Why am I not taking advantage of this? Because that's a no-brainer. The worst thing that can happen is they can throw them in the trash. Well, guess what? If you never gave it to them, you might as well throw them in the trash because they're not doing you any good anyway. So, just do that, and that should help your business. Just that. Yeah. And I think the other thing is sometimes it's good to incentivize for referrals. And I'm going to have you talk about that a little bit, Carter.
Yeah. So giving a card is great. Incentivizing is even better. So to give a card that's specifically made up for getting referrals, where the card just says, if you give this to a friend and this friend gives us this card back at the time of service, we'll credit $50 off your next service call, or something like that. So that, it's just a way of identifying and following a trail of where that referral came from so that you can incentivize that person for giving you that referral. So now when, someone's talking to a friend or a neighbor across the fence and they said, hey, I noticed you had, your chimney cleaned the other day. Who do you use? Oh, I really like the company that I use. I've been using them for years. Hold on, let me go get a card for you. It's going to save you some money and I'll get a little bit off my next purchase too. So come back, they just write in their name, they hand it to them and say, now, when you schedule your call, tell them that I referred you and make sure that you give the technician this card. That's the way you're going to get your discount, right? And so now that comes back to you, and that sort of thing. So simple way to do it. And again, not a costly thing to do to make up specific referral cards that have a mechanism for doing that. It's just like a coupon, but it has a little blank in there so that you can attribute it directly to the customer that gave you that referral.
Yeah, and I appreciate that, Jerry, because this is a real shortcut. If I can talk, shortcut. Earn them, ask for them, and ask for them again. I mean, just
and then provide a really easy way for them to do it. Exactly.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right. That's fantastic. So here's the other thing that we all often see people miss. A lot of the people that are our clients do this really, really well, but we really encourage the smaller sweeps to start this very early in their businesses, because it really makes a difference. You never know who's going to take off, and they almost always go for the bigger roofing companies or the bigger HVAC companies. And I've told them, look, find people that are on the same level as you. Grow together. You don't have to start with the big dogs right out of the gate. If you want to, that's fine. More power to you. But if you're intimidated by that, then go find another sole proprietor, single truck guy that's doing roofing and just bringing in crews, somebody that's doing HVAC electrical work, and then pair up with them, refer them, let them refer you. I mean, professional referrals go a long, long way. And if they don't know you exist, you will never get referrals.
It's more than just knowing that you exist. It's knowing why they should be giving you a referral, right? So one of the things that we know about professional referrals is it's not always obvious to the company who could be sending you a lot of business why they should be sending you a lot of business. Education is huge, right? Getting in front of a lot of realtors to let them know that you do property, the level 2 inspections for their properties when they're selling homes. That's brilliant. But they may not understand how important that is, and they may not understand how that benefits them, and they may not understand all of that unseen stuff that's up there in that chimney that they just think is probably discovered during a normal home inspection. So it's important to do some educating, and by educating them, you're showing them how important you are to them. And that's the beginning of a really good referral relationship. So we love doing things like, seeing customers, and we encourage customers to do lunch and learns, where they just send out, or stop by realtor offices, things like that, and let people know, hey, we're doing a lunch and learn. We're going to, meet at such and such place, or lately it's been on Zoom and that sort of thing. So, but that's a great way to just book a group of 5 to 10 realtors that need to hear about what you do. You're making it entertaining. You're helping them network with other realtors in their market. But you're also feeding them too, and so you can sometimes get a good turnout for that, and that can fuel. I mean, that can be years worth of additional business just trickling in every month. For finding really good realtors that finally understand why it's important to refer to you.
I think one of the funniest stories I've ever heard about professional referrals is a chimney guy found out that one of the big roofers in his area absolutely hated working around chimneys. And so when he found that out, and I can't remember exactly how he found that out, he went to him and said, "It is the most favorite thing that I love to do." And the guy's like, "You have got to be kidding. Nobody loves to repair leaks around chimneys. They're awful." And he's like, no, if you know how to do them, they're great. Just send them to me. And he started getting all this leak repair. So sometimes it's finding out what the guy that is having to do those repairs, if they don't like to do those repairs and you do, it's a great end. And then the other thing is you got to make it worth their while. Sending out gift cards, and starting the process by referring them first is also another really good way to do that.
Brilliant.
The reciprocity law comes into place there. So, giving them some gift cards, taking them to dinner, having lunch with them, coffee, all those kind of things, man, that really, really makes a difference. So let's see, what else we're going to talk about. This is going to be timely. Hey, and guys, if you're enjoying this, just give us a heart, give us a little love or a like. That would be great. Always love your comments as well. If you have any questions, put them in there. We'll try to get to you here in just a minute. We will get to you here in just a minute. But we also wanted to talk about leveraging your employees to find other great employees, because that's a referral.
Yes. That's one of the best referrals you'll ever get. In our business, there was a period where I think we went maybe even 3 years, maybe longer than that. I'm not totally sure. And everybody we hired was a referral from one of our existing employees. And man, talk about shaping your culture, because now all the people that you're working with that are in your company know one another and like one another, right? So it's just this huge cultural, community that's just baked in from day one. And it was super. It was such an amazing way to hire. And good employees bring you other good employees. It's rare that a good employee is going to risk their reputation with you and the way that you view them by recommending somebody to you that they know is probably not a good fit for your culture, or sometimes drops the ball, or isn't the sharpest knife in the drawer. Those kinds of things are just weeded out for you, because a good employee wants to make sure that they maintain the good working relationship they have with their employer. So it works really well.
Yeah. And you can sweeten the pot. Honestly, when we were doing it, we were paying people, I think, $50 bonuses. This has been, 7 years ago. And so I've been asking the question, how much is it costing you to recruit one person today? Some of the answers are unbelievable. I had one guy say 10 grand to recruit one really good employee, 10 grand. So I said, so why don't you offer a signing bonus to your current employees? He goes, what are you talking about? I said, well, tell your employees that if they bring you somebody that sticks for 6 months, does all the training and sticks through it, at the end of that 6 months, you'll pay them $2,500 and you'll pay the new employee $2,500. That's half of what you're spending right now.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, yeah, why wouldn't I try that? I'm like, I don't know. Why wouldn't you try it? I mean, seriously, if it, take whatever the money that you're spending and start looking. I mean, I think the biggest issue, I was on a call last night actually with Jerry's group, and I said this in this group. You have to get out of the box. Everybody is fishing the same way, the same pond, the same everything. If you're all fishing with the same bait and somebody parks their boat next to you and takes a net and throws it out and brings the catch in with a big net, everybody's jealous. You're jealous because you didn't think about the net. That's why you're jealous. You're really not jealous it has more fish. You're jealous because it's like, why didn't I think about the net? So how you think about the net, you have to think outside of what everybody else is doing.
Yes, outside of what everybody else is doing. But I'll also say that one of the things that business owners, a trap that they fall into, we fall into, I fall into it myself, is this belief that we're such a precious little snowflake and we're so unique in the world, and the way we do business is just this amazing thing that's so different than everybody else. The bottom line is, when it comes to attracting people, getting referrals, getting new customers, getting new employees, what you have to do in order to get good ones is going to look pretty much identical to what everybody else has to do in order to get good people. The real difference, the real secret sauce, is not the approach, or not so much the bait you're using, because you got to use the same bait that is interesting to other people, but it's in the way that you use it to attract. It's the way you present it to the market that you have that can differentiate you. And quite honestly, we got to quit thinking that we've got to be so radically different. Sometimes you like when you're fishing next to the guy that throws a net out and he hauls up this amazing catch. Sometimes you just got to stop fishing with your worm and your bobber. You got to put the boat out of the water, go to the bait shop, buy a net, and then go fishing. Go fishing the way that now works, because you've seen it proven that it works that way. So, I'll say it. I've said it before. Since that you've heard the saying, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, and nobody wants to imitate their competitors. They want to think that we're different, we're better. But the bottom line is that imitation is also the surest path to success sometimes. So when you see somebody doing it a particular way, don't let your pride get in the way. Don't let that business owner mentality of we're special, we're different, get in the way of you just copying, outright stealing some really good ideas for getting good employees.
Well, and that's true. There's a lot of people out there tell you how they're doing it, and I've seen a lot of people say, yeah, it works for them, it doesn't work for me. There's a reason why it's working for them and not working for you. You got to figure out what that reason is and change it. So yeah, and that is true too. But there's some truth to being a little bit unusual. I'll push back a little bit on you, because I think everybody has unique stories. And I think if you're telling your unique story, sometimes it's the story of your business, your customers, the people that you have on your team. Those people are part of that story, and they attract people just like them. So if you hire a bunch of old fuddy-duddy, hairy guys like Carter and I, you may get more old fuddy-duddy hairy guys like Carter and I. But if you go and hire a bunch of young guns that are going and moving and shaking and wanting to make money and can hop up on a roof and do all the things that need to be done, hopefully they have friends just like them. So it just,
as much as it is about being unique, it's about being authentic to what you are as a business. Exactly. Right? Like exactly. Using what you've really got to the best advantage that you can. But my point was, going out and changing all your uniforms to be day glow, rainbow day glow tie dye is not going to just suddenly make you the company that all the greatest people out there want to come work for. Being unique in that sense, gimmicky is what I mean.
Yeah.
Forget being gimmicky. Just be true to who you are, be authentic with who you are, and go the distance with it. I mean, drive hard on what makes you a great place to work.
Yeah, and I do agree with that. I also think there's some things that we can do as business owners, and Carter and I have really kind of put our head together on some of these things. You know, one of the things that I've been reading about is especially younger people, they like having their birthday off. I mean, I never even would have thought that that was a big deal. They like to have their birthday off. So is that something you can add? We've kind of done it's not a official survey. It's kind of a one of those deals is, hey, if we could change anything, what would you want? And we've gotten, anywhere from, it would be great to have maybe travel vouchers. I've had that one, and I've had, if we could have a little bit more vacation or a little bit more this or a little bit more that, those are the things. The people that have families kind of want some availability to take time off to go to the baseball games and the soccer games and get their kids to the doctors, and they just want a little bit more flexibility. Now, all businesses are different in the sense that we all do different things, and your business may not be able to do some of those flexible things. But I'll just tell you, I recently talked to a chimney sweep that goes to a 3-day work week, and he makes it work. And he says his guys love it, absolutely love it. So it was like, interesting. That's an interesting thing. So you might want to rethink some of those things. That may be really enticing. I don't know if you can or not. Again, everybody's got different business models. They run their business different, and they're different sizes. So, but it might be something to experiment with. I mean, these are all the little bitty things that you can just kind of look at and go, that'll be interesting. So this is your bailiwick, Carter. So I'm going to let you have it about the systems.
Yeah. So Jerry said it really well. Provide an easy way for them to give you a referral. The name of the game in business and customer experience is remove the barriers, the speed bumps that exist between you and the action that you want your person to take, right? So whatever it may be. Just look at your business that way, and you're going to find all sorts of places where you can make improvements. Even just like, why are you still requiring a 3% surcharge when somebody pulls out a credit card to pay you? Just eat the 3%. Make it easy for them to pay you, because the difference between getting paid on the spot or waiting for them to mail in a check sometimes creates so much complication for the people in your office to go collecting it, that it's worth that 3% and quite a bit more to solve the problem, right? So these are I'm using that as an example when I say, when it comes to referrals, make it dead simple. Make it so easy for people to give you a referral. First of all, train your customers that it's a part of the experience, right? Working with us, we're going to get to the point that when you're happy, we're going to ask you for a review, and then we're going to send you an opportunity to give somebody the gift of our service at a discount. And if you do that, we're going to give you a discount as well, right? So that reciprocal thing where you get some and they get some, and it's like a triple win. So, by making it easy like that, you really are getting more reviews just because it's built in. But there's a lot of things you can do. I mean, some people have taken it to the technological end and automating some of those requests, and I think that's awesome. We do some of that for clients, and I think it works really well, the ones that do it. You can get really in depth and create an entire program for professional referrals where you're tracking exactly how many referrals you get from a professional source, and you're sending them you're loading up one of those Amex cards with money every single time they do it, and all of it's automated, so it's pretty hands off. I mean, those are great things. They can get a little expensive for smaller businesses, but the larger ones, especially we see it in HVAC, it's not that hard to do, and there are systems out there that you can make do that. It's pretty cool and pretty sophisticated. Do you think it gets more referrals from professionals? You bet it does, man. When every month they're getting a $3,000 loaded Amex card to go spend on whatever they want to because they gave you, 80 good qualified referrals that turned into business for you that was worth, $150,000 worth of, work or something. Then yeah, I mean, it just makes sense.
Yeah, no, it really does work well. So guys, here's what we're going to do. If you have any questions, if there's anything that comes up, if you want to send somebody and refer somebody to Spark Marketer, you can do that at taylor@sparkmarketer.com. If you guys are interested, want to talk to Carter more about automation and setting up some of those automated ways to follow up with people and get referrals, Carter@sparkmarketer.com is the way to do that. And next week, I'm excited about this one too. I think I'm excited about all of them. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I'm just excited. We're going to talk about how a well-trained team impacts your marketing. Because one of the things I think people don't understand is why training is so important to your marketing. And we're going to talk about that and break that down a little bit. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for being here today. We're trying to keep these things at around 30 minutes or so, and we're over a little bit. But we appreciate your time. We know that y'all have lots of other things that you could be doing, and just thank you for being here. Michael, Linda, Jerry, thanks for participating in the comments. Linda, Jerry, thank you guys for liking us. Facebook takes those signals and does something with them. I'm still trying to figure all that out. I've read so much about it over the last 2 weeks. I'm still not sure what they do, but whatever it is, it's good. So like us, give us some love, the hearts, all that good stuff. It helps in every way that Facebook says it does. So we'll just go from there. Thanks so much, guys, and we'll see you next week. And we're talking about marketing and training.
Thanks, everyone.